This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
You would think I would take my own advice. This is Wretched Radio. As the tip, if you're thinking about going into broadcasting, dairy products right before you turn on the microphone. Don't do that.
Not
you
your
will be
best
very
idea,
sorry.
no.
Hold on, I've got to take a drink of it. Hold on.
Does it actually have milk in it?
Do as I say, not as
There
I
you
do.
go.
Now, that is a subject, more parents should talk about. When the parents tell their kids to not fight and then they themselves get into squabbles, the kid might not cognitively go, okay, my parents are telling me one thing while they're doing another. They might not process it that linear. Can it be an adverb? Can linear be an adverb? Linear. That clearly, that in sequence. But they get the message. You're being a hypocrite. Now, I'm not saying that you're a hypocrite, but you're acting hypocritically. And we can do that with our kids, right? Hey, share with your sister. What do you mean you want to use my golf clubs? What? That just tells a kid something. And as long as we're talking about advice, specifically for parents, this is from Rooted Ministry. This is a subject, I have to confess to you, it's not like the most thrilling subject that you can discuss around the dinner table or on radio for that matter, but it is one that every parent is confronted with, and if you're not a parent yet, you're going to be, and it's going to be worse for you, and that is the subject of social media and technology. I honestly, I don't know what you're doing, Mom and Dad. I don't know how you would do it, because I've thought this through. Okay, if we were raising our kids, if they were younger at this time, what would we do about the cell phones and the internet and the iPad business? We were just barely able to kind of get through it because it wasn't quite the tidal wave that it is now. I don't know how parents are dealing with their kids on this issue. It would be extremely difficult. So when we stumble across something that might be a help, this is for you, Mom and Dad. These are technological realities that nearly every youth worker would affirm, but that most parents are unaware of. So here you go, Mom. Dad, 4 things youth workers would tell parents about teenagers. Number 1. Behind your back. Stop. If you respond to behind your back your kids, not my kid, I think the youth worker would say, yeah, actually, Mom and Dad, behind your back. How do I know this? The Bible tells me so. They're totally depraved sinners. So, of course, they're going to want to sin. The challenge, of course, for parents is to not be the kid's Holy Spirit. Because as soon as they are away from you, you're out of eyesight and earshot, well, they're off to the sin races. That's just every kid. And they at least feel that tug. As wonderful as your child might be, and I hope that they are, behind your back, they're doing stuff. Kids will tell their youth pastor that they resist technological restrictions at home, but they know their parents are doing the wise thing. That's interesting. You're putting restrictions on your kids, and they resist those restrictions, but they know you're doing the right thing. So what's the moral? Keep doing that. Keep doing that. I remember this years ago. Somebody told me this, and I found it to be true in our own home. The child is, hey, Dad, everybody's going to the party. Tell me what kind of party we're talking about. Who's going to be there? How old? Isn't that the boy who, So you want to go to that party. I don't think that's a wise idea, son. Oh, come on, man. You're just cramping my style, Daddy-o. And on the inside, they're going, I am so glad that my parents don't be deceived by their external response always. It's not 100% rule, but the youth pastors would tell you they're actually grateful when you have appropriate, consistently applied, non-hypocritically given rules. Number 2, if your son has unfettered access to the internet, he is almost definitely looking at pornography. Sorry. Just sorry. This is, again, Rooted Ministries. And I look, it's would you put a boy, a 12-year-old, into a room with a bunch of old-time pornographic magazines and just shut the door? Nobody's watching you. You're good to go. Do whatever you think is best. Not a chance. And yet, these devices that we hand to them, and I'm not dissing you, Mom and Dad. I told you, I don't know what I would do if I were you. We hand it to them, and it's more than a stack of porn. It's just an unlimited well of smut. And the kids, they're kids. iPhones and other smart devices have very effective parental controls to eliminate your son's access to anything inappropriate. I don't know what those things are. Put them on. You got to control it. I think there's stuff now you can tell where the child is. You can tell what they're looking at. You can tap right into it. Do it, Mom and Dad. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. They do not have the self-control to not get involved in those things. Even if it's one time. I talked to a young man once who said he's seen pornography once. An older fellow now. Once? You've seen pornography once? He goes, yeah, it just scared me. I was 12 and it just scared me. Which it should, because a child shouldn't have adult knowledge. That's the difference between a child and adult. Knowledge. What do you know about the world and how it operates? And adult things. It scared him. And it drove him away from it. Okay, so it can happen, but don't count on that being your child. Put the stuff on it to help control them. It's love. Number 3, if your son or daughter has Snapchat, they are being exposed to awful things or being enabled to do awful things. Okay, the Snapchat, is that the one where you can send a picture but it goes away in 7 seconds? Is that the deal? Yeah, look at the three of us. Ay, gefilte fish. Whatever it is, it's bad for the kids. Joey, give me a definition for Snapchat and see if it has anything to do with the look of love.
I think it's kind of like AOL Instant Messenger, just newer.
Boy,
I don't know about backers. I'm going to go take a nap.
That you're hearing on current technology. If your daughter has Snapchat, writes Rooted Ministry, she is being solicited for naked pictures of herself. We have had many teenage girls confirm that a normal experience for a teenage girl today is for a boy to ask her for naked pictures. We have not had a single girl deny this. Oh, boy. Now, I don't think that's every, but let's not be willfully ignorant here either. Most kids will deny this to their parents because they are afraid that their parents will take away their social media access. Did I mention I think you're in kind of a no-win situation here, Mom and Dad? If your son has Snapchat, he's going to face 2 mighty temptations. One, as sweet and pure as your son may be, he will live with a temptation to ask a girl for those photographs. The boys I know who have gotten in trouble for this have all been, quote, nice boys. Secondly, girls tend to be a lot more assertive today than they were in past generations. In the context of Snapchat, this means that some girls, without provocation, will send boys photos of themselves. Nice. Very nice. Have we not all heard that? Girls these days far more aggressive than ever before. There's a reason for that. It's post-Christian. There used to be some understanding of roles, who the aggressor, who the pursuit is, that the young lady was a diamond, she was the treasure to capture her heart. After you go through her father to get permission. We were at UGA yesterday. We were in this area, and this couple was kind of canoodling on the ground. And the guy's just got his arms and hands all over, hug and just spooning on the ground.
We get it.
I'm telling you. I said to Jeffrey, who heads up our production, I said, would it be wrong if I went up to that couple and said, excuse me, young man, do you have permission from her father to be treating her this way? I was instructed that would probably be inappropriate, but I was thinking it, and there's a part of me that understands I want to grow old gracefully with more fruit of the Spirit, I have to confess I'm at war with myself. I wouldn't mind being just an old curmudgeon. Hey, what do you think you're doing to that girl? Snap out of it, young man. Now get up and get a job. Something like that. Final note from the things youth workers would tell parents about teenagers regarding social media. I cannot emphasize enough how insidious Snapchat is and how important it is to eliminate your child's access to it. There you have it, Mom and Dad. Not easier news for you, but I think that there's one thing that I would definitely do at this point, and that is to be in control of the kid's cell phone. That's going to be a hard enough battle. That's easier said than done. I get that. But if you're not helping them and protecting them, they might have regrets for the rest of their lives. What times we live in. Until tomorrow, go serve your king.